Hey y'all. Okay, I'm back with something that I created quite a few years ago. I've not done any in a while, and I actually did some updated pieces showing some more variety, and I just wanted to share it with everybody. These are ATC size mini books with page protectors because it uses the ATC sleeves to protect the pages. So you can make, this is a little prototype book. You can make any kind of little book, put your photos in it, put the sleeves on it. This one I use different colored eyelets for each page because it's my little prototype that I show a lot. So I wanted it to be a little more protected as far as taking it apart and whatnot. This one is just put together with a plastic snap ring, the holes at the top corners, and here I used a variety of little die-cut shapes, punched shapes, and then I used my punches to punch the photographs to fit each little picture layout. These are perfect for what I call our do-nothing pictures when it comes to scrapbooking. They're pictures that you normally might not do anything else with, but they're great to make little bitty books to give to everybody in the family that wants pictures of your kids, your trip, or whatever you want to share in photographs. This one is actually from a die that I had custom made when I had my commercial die cut machine. So it was actually a frame with an opening size, and I took pictures of butterflies that were in my garden and put in that. But you could still make this. You would just have to do a lot of hand cutting. This book, I actually attached the photographs front and back to pieces of chipboard. Then I used my label maker to do all of my journaling and even added the raised embellishments from those little packages that you can buy at Walmart, Michael's, Joann's, all of the craft stores have them. And this was just a little day trip where we had taken the kids down to the beach. And so I used things that, represented that. Then I wanted to do some with some vacation photos. So I created this book based on an accordion style. There again, my frame die cut that I had custom made, and then I ran it through different embossing folders based on the pictures that were that I was using in it. This side, you see, just uses the full photograph. This one I actually used to carry in my purse, so what I did is I used a double-sided poster tape to actually secure everything in there so I didn't have to worry about the photographs falling out if it turned sideways. This is another one that I made using scrapbook paper, photographs of the kids one day when I took them to the park, and a rubber stamp to make my little journaling spots with the lines on it. If you can see all of that. This one I had made this was our dog Smokey. We lost him just a few months ago. This was photographs of him. This one a friend of mine did as a sample for me back when I had my die cut business, and she actually used rubber stamps and other embellishments in it just as a little book and sent it to me as a gift. Most of the rubber stamps in here are from Innovative Stamp Creations. My friend Betsy Griffin owns that company. This is one that I made using a brochure that had pictures of wolf items. My husband collects wolves. So I used the photographs from the little brochure. I painted the cardstock with a metallic blue paint and then put each little picture and whatever the written part was that went with that photograph on the 4 pages, and I gave it to him. He just thinks it's cute. Here I made a little scrapbook from a trip where I took the kids to the pumpkin patch, and I used my file card die cut that went with the AccuCut machine I had. and made the book. But in the back of it, I took and I made an accordion pullout with my ATC size or wallet size photo with page protector book to go in the back of that. So since then, I have created, let me move these, I've created a couple of new things using the same concept. I wanted to do a little recipe book. So I got to playing around with some scrapbook paper that I had bought, and I come up with this little idea the other day. This is just a band to keep it closed. I made the little lid for it, and then this opens up, and I can write my recipes. I found these little cards on the internet, and I only had a few left from another project I had done. But then I had also found these little bitty small note cards at, I think, Office Depot. So I may do a few of those and put in there. But each one of these has the page protector or the ATC sleeve or baseball card sleeve on it. And I used my file die cut that I can use with my Big Shot machine. And then I even have one in the front and the back covers. And did it that I'm going to put some of my smaller recipes that don't have but a few ingredients. And this is actually going to sit on the counter in the kitchen. And then when it's sitting on the counter in the kitchen, this just all goes back together like that. And it's just cute to sit in there because it has the kitchen-y look to it. So, I had to take it another step further. I made this as another, it's going to have recipes in it when I get done with it. I used this as my closure method on this, but I made it to where my pages were landscape instead of portrait style for this particular book. And then each page will flip and we'll have a ATC sleeve or baseball trading card sleeve to use as my little page protector. This one I've just got a black piece of cardstock in it so that you could see the sleeve a little better. And then I'll have my actual little recipe cards that I'll print out after I get my computer fixed. This one, I'm actually working on another one similar to this. It's going to be a little bit different, but this one I was just so tickled with the other day, and my husband thought it was just the bomb. I used these little photo turns as the closure, and then it opens up like this. Well, let me stand it up so you can see. This whole inside is an accordion that pulls out, but then it's also where you can flip the pages like this. Each page has the sleeve on it with the page protector. So you could put, this one I just put a piece of cardstock and slipped one of those down in it just so you could see. I also, on the back side of this one, I added a little die-cut envelope and a tag where extra journaling or things like that could be put, depending on what you wanted to use the book for. Same thing when you flip it back this direction. So you can see you get a lot of bang out of just a very small space in this book. And then I decorated it with the pattern paper that I just liked and thought was cute for this. I think I'm going to find different pictures of my grandchildren and actually put in this book. But I'm working on another one that is going to also be a recipe book that I'm going to use more kitchen-y paper to go with. But I just thought these were the cutest things, and I wanted to show them so that y'all could see what I had been doing and creating. This was my original design that I'd done back in the early 2000s, and then just it kind of got stuck on the back shelf, and I didn't do a whole lot with it. And moving my studio to the new location where it's at now, I have ran across oodles and oodles of things that I had forgotten that I even had. So I thought I would update some things and show you what all you could do with making little mini books that actually had page protectors on them. And you can see how cute some of these little pages are, and they just use little punch shapes and little die cut shapes. You could use oodles and oodles of scraps. Make 4 little pages, give that to Grandma. She could tote it in her pocketbook, and your pictures are protected, because the secret to this is you put the page protector or the sleeve on it upside down, like normally we would slide it in this way. You slide it in this way so that when you punch your hole, your pictures can't come out, nothing can get down in them, and they're totally protected. So how cool is that? So, y'all make some. Thanks.